I hear a lot of people saying the blues, but I'm gonna tell you what the blues is. When you ain't got no money, you got.
Welcome to our podcast, Melbourne Musify. I'm your host, Joe Ebiend,
And I'm Ruby Winters.
and this is episode 8 of many episodes to come. Today's episode is all about Australian football grand final AFL, where we had the band Kiss perform.
Yeah, so that was actually a really nice surprise that Kiss performed at the grand final.
Yeah, that was about last month.
It was, yeah. So it's a little while ago, a few weeks, yeah. And who was playing at the grand final?
It was with millions of kids.
It was, yeah. There were a lot of kids that were dancing with Kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was I think Collingwood and was it Brisbane Lions grand final? I think so, yeah. It was a really, really, really interesting game, only made, more incredible by the fact that Kiss played.
Yeah, and also even other artists from Australia, even like Mark Wilson.
Oh,
I mean, like the band from Hunters and Collections.
okay. I'm not too familiar with them, but that's cool. So he performed as well.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Great.
Like, I mean, Mark Seymour.
Oh,
That's
Mark
what-
Seymour.
yeah.
Oh, right. I think we saw him. Oh, we saw him, didn't we?
Yeah.
At the Red Hot Summer Festival.
Yeah, that's before we see Missy Higgins, Paul Kelly, and other Aussies bands.
I remember. He's so talented.
Yeah, they're all talented.
Yeah.
Talented.
Well, getting back to, I guess we'll stay on topic with Kiss today because I know they're one of your favourite bands. Before we do start though, we'll just let the listeners know about some of the upcoming gigs in Melbourne. So would you like to share that with our listeners?
So, there is Sam Smith performing in Rod Laver Arena near Olympic Boulevard, Melbourne on the Wednesday, 1st November at 8 p.m. and on Thursday, the 2nd November at 1 a.m. And there is and there's also Fall Out Boy, Bullet for My Valentine, Taking Back Sunday, and 25 more artists performing at Good Things Festival in Flemington Racecourse near Flemington on 1st December 2023 at 8 p.m.
That is going to be a really good show. Like when you researched that and we started talking about it, I could not believe that all of these bands have come back to Australia. It seems to be as soon as the weather gets better, everyone comes back, which is really great for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so and what else have we got going on or coming up in Melbourne?
There is Jason Derulo performing in Rod Laver Arena near Olympic Boulevard, Melbourne on the Friday, 10th November at 4:30 to 11 p.m.
Okay, cool. I think he's like a hip-hop... Oh, no, wait, not hip-hop. R&B artist. Yeah, very talented.
Yeah, I like his songs. Anyway, so there is Christina Aguilera performing in Flemington Racecourse near Flemington on Saturday 25th November at 12 a.m.
Oh my goodness. Christina Aguilera. Wow. So I'm a little bit older than you. So she was kind of the Ariana, or her and Britney Spears were like the Ariana Grande of my time. So that is really, like mind-blowing to see that she's coming back all of these years later. Wow.
I know, and one of my favorite songs of hers is Keeps Getting Better.
Awesome. She's such a talented singer, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. She
Wow.
is, you know, I would say fantastic singer.
Yeah,
Anyway,
definitely.
yeah.
And so, who's the last artist that you've got for us?
Foo Fighters performing in Amy Park near Olympic Boulevard, Melbourne on the Monday 4th and on Wednesday 6th December 2023 at 7 p.m.
The Foo Fighters. Wow, holy moly. So there's a lot of really great artists that are coming to Melbourne, and you know, summer hasn't even really started yet. So that's really really awesome news for you know, all of the people that live in Melbourne or Australia, because a lot of these artists are touring in other states as well. But yeah, we are very lucky. So,
Yeah.
very very cool. Thank you for sharing that, Joe.
You're welcome.
All right, so going on to, or going back to Kiss,
Yeah.
did you want to share your music review about their performance at the Australian Grand Final in 2023?
So, the 30th of the 30th of September 2023, me and my sister who meant to watch Kiss performing at the AFL Grand Final on TV, but unfortunately, I was with Ruby. We're working on a podcast, and we missed that video. But
We did.
Yeah.
And we tried to watch it at the library. Well, you know, because we've created this podcast out of a library podcasting studio, which is really cool. And they have a huge screen outside, and we thought we had the right time, but we went out there and we had just missed it. So, yeah, but you know, things sometimes happen for a reason. And so you went home and watched it, didn't you?
yeah, because at the night I finally watched that video on YouTube, and a spectacular show when Kiss played 3 songs, including I Was Made for Loving You, Shout Out Loud, which it makes me feel so cheerful, joyful, and have a fun time. And the last song, which was Rock and Roll Night and Party Every Day. Well, like I said, with millions of kids were singing and dancing on stage when they wearing makeup and costume. An amazing part when Stanley, who broke his guitar in the end of the show.
Oh my goodness, wow. I did see a little bit of it as well, and it was incredible. Such an incredible performance. Wow. Wow, okay, well thank you so much, Joe, for sharing that with us. So out of 10, how many stars would you rate that performance?
And also, I will say 10 out of 10. Amazing show,
Wonderful.
as I said. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, wow. Well, while we're on the Kiss train, we have decided that we were going to highlight an artist from the band Kiss today. So, Joe, do you want to take it away?
So, this artist highlights about Kiss, and I decided to go talk about a band member, Paul Stanley. So Paul Stanley is a lead singer, rhythm guitar, and his makeup character, Star Child. Stanley has born in January 20th, 1952 in New York City, US. Stanley has a disability on his right ear from a birth defect until having surgery when he was 30 in 1982. It seems he found it difficult to understand the situation that he was in.
I could understand, you know, it must have been very confusing for him growing up as a child. Yeah, so, yeah.
And I know there is a lot of artists who have a disability, which I believe.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Stanley was a unpopular kid until he first saw the Beatles on TV, and his life changed forever.
Ooh.
And Stanley attends the High School of Music and Arts in New York City, graduating in 1970. So before Kiss, Stanley was in a local band and was a member of Uncle Joe and post Raw Baby Boom through a mutual friend of Gene Simmons. Stanley joined Simmons' band Wicked Lister in the early 1970s. The band recorded an album in 1972, but it was never released.
Ah.
So Kiss started in 1973 with Ace Frehley and Peter Criss, and Kiss released their debut album called Kiss in 1974, which was February 1974. So Stanley released his debut solo album called Paul Stanley in 1978. Also, Stanley and Simmons are lead singer in Kiss mutually, and Frehley and Chris who sing some of the songs. Stanley sings I Was Made for Loving You, Detroit Rock City, Forever, Sure Know Something, Love Gun, Strata, Do You Love Me, and a lot of songs. And also Stanley wrote 55 songs. Can you believe it?
Wow, 55 songs. Wow, he must be so incredibly creative.
Yeah, I agree. And also, I heard that the stories behind about Kiss, a little bit more about between Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons used to write together, just like the Beatles, John Lennon and Paul McCartney used to write together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Awesome. So I see that you've done a little bit of research about an interesting fact about Paul Stanley. Would you like to share that with us?
So the interesting facts about Paul Stanley is when I read his book called Face the Music. Even though I listen to the audio Face the Music. So this book is about Paul Stanley's lifelong struggles, his journey, experiences with Kiss, and most of that part is shocking and interesting. That Stanley talks about how Kiss were doing in the recording session for their albums when Ace and Peter wasn't going well in the band. Anyway, so this is one of my favorite books of all time.
Oh, cool. Okay, so for any Kiss fans out there, if you want to go and have a look at Face the Music, sounds like, it would be right up your alley. Cool. All right, Joe. So thank you so much for sharing that artist highlight.
You're welcome. And also, had a lot of talk about Kiss when I'm, because I know I'm a fan of Kiss, one of my favorite bands of all time. As I said, it's an amazing band of all time. Even, their makeup and costumes. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. And let me ask you, have you ever, because you're a musician yourself, have you ever covered any of the Kiss songs?
Yeah, of course. And I got plenty. I used to sing karaoke, and even I used to, the first time, when I perform on stage, which is I sing a Kiss song, Beth, where I wear Peter Criss costume, even makeup.
That's right, you did mention that. I remember now. That was at your school performance, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
In 2011 when I was about 12 years old, and I was very nervous.
I bet. So you performed in front of the whole school?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
That's
Good on you.
when after my mum passed away.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Well, just to finish off with, I guess, the famous musician quote. I love how you've kept it in alignment with Kiss. And so you've got a quote from...
Paul Stanley. And he said, when you're in position to have gotten so much, the gift at this point is giving back. So at this point, I'm reminded that I'm so lucky to have piano lessons in evolution music. I go to Alara, be it dependent, having my family, and we have our podcast. So does that make sense?
It does. It does in the sense of, so what he said is, when you're in a position to have gotten so much, the gift at this point is giving back. So, when you're in a good position and you've been blessed with all of these amazing things, like your family, and you said like you're going to your piano lessons and Willara and your podcast as well.
Yeah.
Giving back is the gift, because like being selfless, and even if it's just a small little a little message or a hug, or it doesn't have to cost anything, but just like saying thank you to someone, or just letting them know that they're appreciated, that gift is giving back, and it really is a gift, like when you're selfless, like there's nothing that really compares to the feeling of either helping someone else or just being selfless. Have you ever given a gift to someone? Maybe it was at Christmas or at their birthday or something like that.
Yeah, I did.
And how did you feel?
Yeah, I feel so amazing, and also I feel happy.
It's pretty special, hey?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a really good quote. Well done for finding that.
Yeah, and also they gave me a gift too. That makes me happy.
Yeah. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we want to say thank you to everyone for listening to episode 8 of many episodes to come. And I think what we might do is we'll go and have a look for some of your Kiss recordings, and we'll insert that at the end of this podcast for our listeners to hear.
And also thank you for listening, and also I hope you, if you listen to our podcast, I hope you like it.
And we're so appreciative of all of you for listening to us.
Thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for having with me on this podcast, Ruby.
Oh, of course, Joe. No problems. We have a lot of fun, and it's a journey. It's a learning journey for both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really cool. So thank you for allowing me to come onto this podcast.
And also thank you for helping. Thank you for helping with for this session.
Of course.
And also, that's also another passion what I love doing, which is podcasts, all of these things.
Yeah, it's pretty special. It's really, really cool. The fact that we can record this, upload it to the internet, and then other people download it and listen to it. It's like magic,
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, really, in this day and age. So, yeah, and we learn a lot. So, yeah, thank you so much, and it's only uphill from here. I think it's next Saturday, isn't it, that we're going to be going to the State Library to do our first podcast out of there.
And
I think that's next Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, next Saturday.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
I know, it's going to be really cool. And yeah, we've got a lot of really cool things in store for all of our amazing listeners. But you'll have to wait for the next episode, and you'll enjoy it. So
yeah, I look forward to it. I'm excited.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you everyone for listening, and have a lovely rest of the week.
Bye.
Bye.
calling